All right, you're listening because you want to get smart about key markets fast. No fluff, just the real story.
Exactly. You want the core insights without wading through pages and pages.
And today we're doing a deep dive into something you probably hear or don't hear, hopefully every day. Acoustic insulation.
Yeah. We've dug into a market research report from
Okay.
Cognitive Market Research to pull out the essentials.
So what's the mission?
Basically, to unpack the market size, the growth, who the big players are, potential threats, opportunities, what makes this whole sector tick.
Got it. So let's jump right into the numbers. What are we looking at?
Okay, so the report puts the market at USD 16,514.2 million back in 2023. Quite substantial.
62.5 billion. Okay. And where's it headed?
Well, this is where it gets interesting. The projection is for it to reach nearly USD 24,773.27 million by 2032.
Wow. Okay. That sounds like a big jump. What kind of growth rate is that?
That works out to a compound annual growth rate, a COGRE, of 5.20%.
5.20%. So
Yeah.
steady growth. Yeah. What does that signal for the industry?
It signals pretty robust health, I'd say. It's, solid, consistent expansion, suggests ongoing demand, room for innovation, investment. It's definitely outpacing a lot of other, maybe more mature sectors.
Right. So what's driving it? What's the rocket fuel here? Why the increasing demand for quiet?
Well, the report points heavily towards urbanization, especially in, rapidly developing nations. Think India, China, Brazil.
Oh, okay. More people crammed together, more buildings, more noise. Makes sense.
Exactly. As cities grow denser, acoustic insulation kind of shifts from being a nice-to-have to more of a necessity.
But it's not just about blocking out the noise from next door, is it? There's more to it.
Oh, definitely. The report really stresses the link to thermal performance, too.
Ah, the energy efficiency angle.
Precisely. Good insulation doesn't just keep sound out, it helps maintain indoor temperatures. So you get better comfort and you save on heating or cooling costs. It's a dual benefit.
Okay, so urbanization is one big driver. What else is pushing demand up?
There's definitely a rising awareness about noise pollution. The actual negative effects it can have on health, stress levels, sleep, concentration.
Yeah, people are realizing it's not just an annoyance, it's a health issue.
Right. And then alongside that, you've got governments stepping in. Stricter building codes are becoming more common.
Focusing on indoor environmental quality.
Exactly that. Often including specific requirements for sound insulation. So awareness, urban density, regulations, they all sort of feed into each other.
Okay, market's growing. We see why. Let's get down to the nuts and bolts. What are these insulation products actually made of?
The report covers the main types. You've got fiberglass, which is, very common, often cost-effective.
Right.
Then there's mineral wool. That one's known for being great with fire resistance as well as sound absorption.
Okay.
Foam-based insulations are another big category, quite versatile. And then there's cellulose, which often uses recycled paper.
Tapping into that sustainability trend.
Absolutely. That's a big plus for cellulose. Each material works a bit differently, based on its density and structure, to either absorb sound or block it and handle heat transfer.
And is this a field where things change much? Are there new developments happening?
Oh, for sure. The report mentions ongoing innovation in material science. They're always looking for ways to make insulation more effective, maybe lighter, definitely more sustainable.
And the energy efficiency push must be driving that too.
Absolutely. Manufacturers are under pressure to deliver products that hit high marks for both thermal and acoustic performance. Get that double whammy,
Makes sense. Where is all this stuff actually going? Is it just houses and apartments?
Not at all. Think about places like offices, schools, hospitals. Noise is a huge issue there. It impacts productivity, learning, even patient recovery.
Yeah, I can imagine. Hospital corridors, classrooms.
Exactly. And then there's the whole green building movement. Certifications like LED often have points related to acoustics and definitely require high performance, often sustainable insulation.
Right, okay. So we've got the big picture, growing market, key drivers, the materials. Now, who's actually making this stuff? Who are the big players?
Yeah, the report names the top manufacturers by reported market share. Leading the pack is Saint-Gobain. They're French.
Saint-Gobain, okay. How big a share do they have?
A hefty 22%. What's interesting is they're not just insulation. They're huge in glass, ceramics, plastics. A massive building materials company.
Wow, diversified.
Very. And they have an incredibly long history founded way back in 1665.
1665.
Seriously.
Yeah,
Global presence, too, over 70 countries. And like many big players now, they're talking a lot about sustainability.
That's quite the legacy. The report mentions their recent financials, though a dip in profit and top line in Q4 2024, but lower admin costs. What do we make of that?
Good question. A single quarter is just a snapshot, of course. It could hint at maybe tougher competition or rising costs for materials, maybe a strategic shift. It's definitely something to watch, see if it's a blip or a trend.
Interesting. Okay, who's number 2?
Breathing down their neck, basically, is BASF SE from Germany. They've got a reported 20% share.
BASF, the chemical giant.
Exactly. One of the world's largest. Again, super diversified, but with a strong focus on high-performance, sustainable solutions, including for construction.
And didn't the report mention a specific innovation from them? Something about foam.
Ah, yes. Good catch. They developed a new Armacell foam back in late 2021, specifically for acoustic use, targeting both buildings and, interestingly, the automotive sector.
Shows how materials tech can cross over between industries, right?
Absolutely. A solution for sound dampening can find uses in very different places.
Okay, so Saint-Gobain, BASF. Who else is in that top tier?
Next up is Rockwool International from Denmark with 13% share reported.
Rockwool. They sound more specialized.
They are. Their focus is specifically on stone wool insulation. So they really market that combination of thermal, acoustic, and fire safety performance.
The trifecta.
Kind of, yeah. And they're also very focused on sustainability, reducing energy use in manufacturing, cutting emissions, promoting circular economy ideas. Their specialization gives them a strong identity.
Okay, who's next?
Then we have Knauf Insulation, another German company at 10% share. They're part of the larger Knauf group.
Ah, right. Knauf is big in drywall and other things too.
Exactly. Knauf Insulation itself offers a range: fiberglass, mineral wool, and like the others, sustainability and energy efficiency are key themes for them, using recycled content and all that.
And that brings us to number 5.
Yep. Rounding out the top 5 is Kingspan Group from Ireland with 8% reported share.
Kingspan. They're known for those insulated panels, right?
That's a big part of it, yeah. They're leaders in innovative insulation and building envelope solutions, rigid foam, panels, building wraps.
And sustainability. Seems like a common thread.
Very much so for Kingspan. The report actually flags a specific product launch from them in early 2022, a new line of high-performance acoustic insulation. And they explicitly promoted its sustainability and energy efficiency along with the sound performance.
So that really shows how those market trends we talked about, energy efficiency, green building, are directly shaping product development, even at the top.
No doubt about it. It's what the market is demanding.
Okay, so these 5 companies control, what, like 73% of the market between them? That's significant dominance.
It is a very concentrated market at the top.
So if you're looking at these companies maybe as a customer or a competitor, what are the key things to compare? How do they differ beyond market share?
Well, the report suggests a few criteria. First, just the range and diversity of their products. Do they cover different materials, different applications?
Makes sense. What else?
Product quality and performance, obviously. How well does it actually reduce noise? Is it durable?
Right. Does it work and does it last?
Then there's innovation. What's their R&D like? Are they bringing out new, better stuff? That's a big indicator of future strength.
You don't want someone just resting on their past successes.
Exactly. Then market presence. How wide is their reach geographically? Does that translate into good distribution and support?
Yep.
Financial stability is important, naturally. And customer service, how helpful are they when you actually need support?
Crucial for big building projects, I imagine.
Definitely. And finally, certifications and standards compliance. You know, making sure their products meet industry benchmarks for quality and safety.
Okay, so that gives a good framework for evaluating the big guys. But the report mentioned emerging threats. Who's potentially challenging this status quo?
Yeah, this is where it could get dynamic. The report names a few companies to watch: Johns Manville from the U.S.,
Okay.
Fletcher Insulation from Australia, Armacell International, based in Luxembourg, and then a couple from the U.K., Superglass Insulation and Siderize Group.
Quite a mix geographically.
Well,
What makes them a threat? Are they just undercutting on price or?
It seems more strategic than just price. Johns Manville, for instance, is highlighted for focusing on high-performance materials and sustainability, hitting those key trends hard.
Right.
Fletcher, down in Australia, apparently leverages strong local knowledge and maybe some innovative approaches tailored for that market.
Local expertise can be powerful.
It can. Armacell specializes in flexible insulation, which is a specific niche, but important for certain applications. And Superglass and Siderize are noted for advanced tech and quality in their specific areas.
So it's less about taking the giant's head on everywhere and more about carving out specific areas of strength, like specialization or hitting key trends really well.
That seems to be the pattern, yeah. The report suggests they're investing in R&D, they're maybe more agile, quicker to respond to new demands, their innovation, and sometimes that local focus let them grab share bit by bit.
It makes you wonder, if someone wanted to start a new company in this space,
Yeah.
what would the report suggest is the winning formula? How do you compete?
That's a great question. The report offers some pointers. First and foremost, really lean into that demand for energy-efficient buildings. That's just fundamental.
Ride the green wave, basically.
Absolutely. Focus on developing advanced materials, stuff with really superior acoustic and thermal performance, high R-value insulation.
Though better tech.
Better tech, and, crucially, make it eco-friendly. Sustainable materials, low environmental impact. That resonates hugely right now.
Are there other angles besides just the material itself?
Yeah, the report hints at integrating smart technologies. Could you embed sensors? Maybe. Monitor conditions, add value beyond just basic insulation.
Interesting. Smart insulation.
Could be. And definitely embrace sustainable manufacturing, align with green building standards like LE. For a newcomer, innovation and sustainability look like the main pathways to differentiate.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. We've seen the acoustic insulation market is growing pretty strongly, hitting almost $25 billion by 2032.
Driven largely by urbanization, noise awareness, and energy efficiency demands.
Right. The top five, Saint-Gobain, BASF, Rockwool, Nauf, Kingspan, have a solid grip, but
there are challengers like Johns Manville, Fletcher, Armacell, and others who are making inroads, often through innovation and focusing on sustainability.
and for anyone new trying to break in, the advice seems to be focus on energy efficiency, develop advanced eco-friendly materials, and maybe explore smart tech integration.
That captures the core takeaways from the research pretty well. It's definitely a market with a lot going on.
So as we finish this deep dive, here's maybe a final thought to chew on. We know this focus on quiet and energy saving is changing construction. But think bigger. How might it reshape, the actual design of our cities, our homes, our workplaces?
Good question.
As places get denser, where else might we suddenly see a need for clever acoustic solutions? It's probably not just about walls anymore, right? Think cars, public transport, appliances, maybe even wearables. It's a field that could touch our lives in some unexpected ways down the line.